My name is Aram, my pronouns are he, him, and welcome to Rise of the Demigods. Rise takes place just before the breaking of the world, when the old gods sought to bolster their claim on Calgon by siring demigod offspring to rule it. Their divine children laid waste to whole continents in their name, and many mortals of the realms grew to despise them. Coalitions were formed and armies marched upon their divine creators, slaughtering many of the demigods and threatening the rule of the gods themselves. Desperate to halt this erosion, the old gods called a council to deal with the demigod issue once and for all. It was decreed that each god was allowed to claim 3 demigod offspring. Those who were born on claim must prove their worth through training and trials in the divine halls and magical valleys of the Temple of Udea. Our story begins with 4 such young demigods, ripped from their homes and families by seekers who work for the temple. For more about our story, including pre-orders for the Rise of the Demigods book, head over to demigodsfall.com and follow us on Twitter @demigodsfall. Hey, my name's Aram, and welcome to Rise of the Demigods. And we're going to go around and introduce ourselves one by one.
Oh, hi. My name is Joey, and my pronouns are he and his and him. And what else are we supposed to introduce?
Who do you play?
Your character's name
yeah.
and who you're the demigod
Who
of.
are you?
That person. So I play Theodore Zotaya, who is the demigod of diamonds.
My name is Mackenzie. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I play Astrid Elvea, the demigoddess of constellations.
My name is Arvi, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Janus de Cassiel, the demigod of secrets.
My name is Nikki. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him, and I play Saint Barb, the demigod of bones.
Outstanding. And the last time we saw all of you, you had been gathered up in your individual ways and sent to the Temple of Udea. I believe you were on a wagon being taken to the shore and eventually loaded onto a boat. Yep.
On a wagon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were on a boat.
On a boat, yeah.
You were on a boat, and you were in an airship.
Airship, baby.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I got an
Fancy.
airship.
Yeah.
I didn't. Hold on, I didn't get a choice.
No, I'm sorry. There was just whatever was sitting outside, and Astrid got an airship.
Was
I
there
want
like
an airship.
there
This
like
is
a
insane.
plane and a boat behind the wagon? I just didn't happen
Yeah.
to see it.
You
I
didn't-
was like, sure,
You
walk in.
didn't see the pamphlet with your dinner choice and
Great.
everything? No? In-flight
Right.
movie?
I chose the vegetarian meal.
That was a good move. Yeah. Yeah.
The hunter chooses the
After you
vegetarian.
slaughtered a moose, you took the vegetarian meal?
You're the one that made me do it.
No, fair enough. All right, so let's start with you.
Me?
You are in the airship,
Oh, yeah.
and it's been pretty amazing. I mean, you've never been in an airship, and it's just this gigantic brass and wood structure with, huge sacks of air above you and some little dealies that, slide left
Classic
and
dealies,
right.
yeah.
Flappers, dealies,
Dealies,
right.
yeah.
You
As you
technical terms.
Really
right?
high class airship, yeah.
Absolutely.
High-class dealies.
Yeah, and and Roger is.
I hate him so much.
I know, everyone does. Roger is in the airship with you, and I mean, it's been a couple hours, and there's a little table, and they serve tea, and there's some basics food like some cheese and bread and things, and the entire time Roger is just with papers and writing, and occasionally looks up at your wolf, who will look up and growl at him, and then they'll both kind of nod, and then they'll both go back to what they're doing.
Growl at him, baby. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything you're doing?
Eating probably. Like if it's nice food, like hell yeah.
It is really good. It's like cheese and bread, but it's good cheese and bread.
Is he is he against a wall? Like, can I
Roger?
walk behind him?
Yeah.
and see
So
what
so
he's
imagine
like?
Roger's kind of leaning against one of the bulkheads, right? Like in a chair that's kind of attached to the wall, and that would like fold up into it. And so he's just kind of casually sitting there.
So I can't like get behind him or like casually walk behind him at all.
No, not really. You have to walk outside the ship.
Why Mackenzie?
Yeah.
I want to see what he's writing. I'm
wanna
just gonna go
stab him.
ask him.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
like, hey,
Oh, hello.
what you doing?
Paperwork, always paperwork with your kind.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, we have to keep track of you and what you do and what you learn and who you interact with and everything, really.
Sounds very creepy.
Look, you all started a war.
I didn't do anything.
Not you in particular, but those like you started a war. Many people died. A lot of people were afraid. So it's the world burns or this.
The world burns with paperwork.
Basically, yes.
What are you writing about me?
Well, and he flips a few pages, right, and then pulls one back,
Oh, God.
and he's like, "You are headstrong, overly confident in your abilities, heavily attached to family, probably will be a disciplinary issue, and very well skilled."
That all checks out to me.
Yeah, see?
You know, I like you better now that I know you're more observant.
Even the wolf looks up and, yeah.
Like mental high five to the wolf. Yeah.
And then as you're talking, you feel the whole ship kind of list to the side a bit and turn. And if you look out the window that's facing down to the ground, you can see the Commonwealth of Vale beneath you, and where it meets up against the Kingdom of Ziar. That's where the temple is. There's this large open air. So imagine like a high rocky plateau, and then carved out of it is this gigantic valley, and the temple just sits right above it. And you're kind of like doing a lazy circle around there right now. And he looks out, and he looks down, and he sees that they're continuing this circle, and he's like, timing. This will just take a moment. They want you to all to arrive at the same time.
So we can't land.
Shortly.
Who else is arriving?
That's a good question. And as you mentioned that,
Okay.
your ship pulls up. So
Okay.
there are docks around the outside of so basically like around the cliff face. There's these docks where the boats will meet, and then there's these huge elevators that just take people directly up. They're meant for grain and cargo and everything else. And right now there's just you. And what was the name of
I have
your
his
guy?
name.
Yeah, thank you.
The halfling dude?
Yeah. What was his name?
Fezzik.
Fezzik, yes. So it's literally just you and Fezzik. You two get off a boat, and now you're standing on this gigantic elevator. A huge crank starts up, and you're just being lifted about 500 feet up this cliff face.
So tell me again, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Oh, well, they'll tell you. But what you're supposed to be doing here is learning how to be the best demigod you can be.
Okay, I mean, whatever that means, but
Don't be a bad one.
Well, yeah, I won't be the bad one, don't worry. So how many other students are in this school?
Oh, well, currently there will be 16, including you, of course.
Okay. Cool. I look around. So we're
We're
just
still
the
going
two
up.
of us in the
Yeah.
elevator. Just kind of tap my foot and look down at him, and then. So, are you a teacher at this school?
Oh, no. None of us are. The only teachers are other demigods.
Oh.
Yes, we are simply inquisitors. We simply get you and bring you here.
Okay, so I'm your superior then.
And then the thing just comes. So as soon as you say that, ka-choom, it gets to the top and like stops, and there's this huge stone bridge over towards the main temple. So there's arcing bridges that reach out to this just floating area of rock in the center of this valley, maybe another 600 feet above it. And he turns to you, and he smiles. Not yet, but soon. And he starts walking with you towards the temple.
Okay. I let him go like a couple of feet, and then I follow behind, and I say, Des, I guess this is our new home.
Okay. You're looking around for like something reflective, right? And in
Yeah.
the immediate area, there isn't anything. You know she's there. You can feel her nearby, so
Yeah.
she'll probably pop in soon. However, there is someone else. So as you start walking up this bridge, there's this woman. She's like 5'10", and she's fabulous. This long, black, flowing hair, very olive complexion, these pools of just black eyes, right? And this long black dress that whenever it catches the light shimmers with emerald. And she just strides up to you. It's like, my darling. Oh, you've done well, Fezzik. Thank you.
Bye, Fezzik.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to the temple.
Hi, I'm Janice.
My name is Medina.
Good to meet you, Medina. So, where are we going?
You'll call me Harold Medina, for I am one of your instructors.
Oh, well, perfect. I was just asking about our teachers.
Yes, well, I am one of your instructors, and also I am your ambassador.
Okay.
Should you have any troubles, you come to me. Should there be any divine aspects that we have to discuss, since you don't really have rights yet, you come to me, and I handle that for you.
What do you mean I don't have rights?
Well, you can't really speak to the council. You can't speak on any divine matters by your own.
So I can't speak.
No. You can speak in class and to your friends and to me, of course, and to the other instructors. But should something happen where people need to discuss things?
I wasn't told this by Fezzik.
Oh, no, I would think not.
So, okay. So we're just going to attend class, and there's this mysterious council, and they're governing whatever it is that might happen to us as demigods.
Well, what might happen to your existence, yes.
Lovely.
Yes. Oh, and I didn't fully introduce myself as you. I am a demigod as well. I understand that we don't really know exactly what you are now. We have some ideas. Do you have any ideas?
I have a few. I look around to see if I see like any sort of reflection, maybe in the stone or something that might.
So as you walk at the midpoint, there are just these ridiculous fountains that shouldn't exist for any reason, but it's that kind of place, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of walk by, and she's there. She's like, as soon as you get to the reflection of the water, she's just looking at you like, watch this one. Look out for this one.
So I just put my jacket closer. Is this something that's supposed to just reveal itself to you or something, or?
That's how it does to most of us. Sometimes we have to find it. For me, it was simply told, whispered to me, for I am the demigod of lies.
Oh, well, lovely.
I think we'll be good friends. And she just starts walking up with you towards the temple. Hold there for a moment. St. Barb.
Hey.
So you were in a wagon, and then you're on a boat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Have you been on a boat?
No.
You got a boat. Good.
Yeah. How does St. Barb think about a boat?
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
How come we're not sinking?
Yeah, and just out in the ocean for weeks, basically. It was like 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
I think there was a point in time in which Barb misunderstood how long they would be gone.
Yes. No, totally. Yeah. No, they're like, so, she's like, it's like, it's a long time. You're going to be, the elf that was with you. It's going to be a long time. Like a long, like not a week, like a long time. You understand this, right?
I thought it was going to be like a week.
No, honey. It's not, it's going to take a week just to, it's like 3 weeks just to get there.
Okay. And then do we come back?
No, you're going to be, I must not have done this well. Okay. You're going to be there for 4 years.
Wow.
At least.
Wow.
If you survive.
That's usually how most things work.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, so a long time.
Yeah.
You might want to settle in a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we good? You good?
Sure. It's not inherently bad. It probably has higher chances of being so, but...
I will do my best for this to be as pleasant as possible. I know it's scary. I know it's different. And I know that a lot of things are being taken out of your control. I don't like that part. But I promise you, if you are smart and if you are careful,
Okay.
you're going to be okay.
4 years doing what?
Oh, well, training and meeting new friends and finding out about your abilities and learning to function within the hierarchy of gods and demigods and surviving a lot of trials. A lot of trials.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, several trials. Several dozen trials. Yeah. But you'll meet new friends.
Okay.
Yay, friends.
She gives you a big thumbs up.
By the way, I still have my big bone.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It's right there. It's like you're just
Taking
leaning
up
against it. Yeah. Every time you try and get through a
Speaking
door.
over it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It is really inconvenient at all times.
I just kind of go back to resting my head on it.
All right.
It's
excellent.
it's a sense of soft pillow, maybe
Yeah.
not in the physical
No,
meaning,
but like just how the like how the little nook of the bone
Yeah.
just kind of fits your chin. It kind of works out well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think to myself, my chin must have been like the other connecting bone to this one. How peculiar.
Yeah. Made just for me. So what would you do over these 2 weeks then?
Of travel?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
How many of it is in a boat?
All of it's in the boat.
All of it's.
You've already been in the boat for a week. Now there's 2 more weeks in the boat. Yeah. It's 3 weeks in a boat. It's a nice boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first week is spent in the center, away from all water.
Right.
Yeah. Do you get
m-
seasick?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly in the center, mostly like trying to be prone with my bone.
Right.
Right. The name of my
Right.
autobiography.
Bone
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and it is a little rocky for the first week,
Uh-huh.
but the second week the seas turn calm.
All right, week 2, it's called The Edge of the Boat.
Yeah.
And I'm there and just kind of looking at the water, probably see a fish for the first time, don't really understand that.
You see-
Looks disgusting, honestly.
You're leaning over, and there's like this big ocean fish, big sea fish that like pops up, looks, does a little mouth thing, and pops back down. And like a minute later, there's an all bone fish that pops out, does a little mouth thing, and goes right back down.
Okay, week 3 is back to the center of the boat.
There's skeleton fish in the
Where-
sea.
Fish.
Where Barb has learned, don't take chances.
Right.
Don't trust any outside.
And and she's just been spending the time again with some paperwork, but also just like she likes to draw. So she's been drawing. She's been drawing the ocean. She's been drawing you. She's been drawing the graveyard she found you in. She just like drawing.
Okay, I want to draw.
Okay, excellent. I would like you to roll performance.
Oh, God. This might end my natural 20 streak. 4.
Okay, so
I start with the bone. That's easy. It's a line.
right. It's just and it's barely a bone. Right. It's just like an oval with some bumps.
Uh-huh.
Right. She's like, oh, that's great.
Thanks.
That's great.
Thanks.
That's great. Maybe you can take an art elective.
I don't think I need it.
No. Clearly, you've mastered this. Yes. So you guys draw and hang out. I mean, she's pretty affable. She's nice. For someone who ripped you out of your home and forced you on a boat and made you come to an academy. She's nice, right? And then eventually you can see the coastline come into view in these huge, high, rocky walls. And you come swinging west, and the boat pulls up and docks, and she's like, grabs her bag. All set?
4 years.
4 years.
Can I write something to my mom?
She kind of like looks left and right, and she's like, quick. And she hands you a piece of paper.
Barb writes, Dear Dr. Mom, sorry, misheard the amount of time I was going to be gone. Planning on leaving as soon as possible. Don't show anyone this letter. Signed, Barb. And they accidentally write signed, Barb.
Right. Perfect.
and then it's kind of folded up and looks around.
And
Thanks.
she quietly stuffs it into her pocket. I'll be out there in a few weeks. I'll get it to her.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Come
cool.
along.
Cool.
And you guys get into the giant elevator, ride up for a while. And again, it's like huge. Like you could fit 4 wagons on this thing, and it's just kind of you standing there. And there's no real rails, so it's like it's big enough to feel safe, but not without the rails. It's always like a little uncomfortable, and you're just kind of riding up the wall right now.
I'm thinking 6 people have died riding this elevator.
Oh yeah,
At
totally.
least.
It's a complete OSHA violation.
least.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys get to the top and start again walking down one of these huge stone bridges towards the temple in the center. And as you're walking, there is like basically as soon as it comes up, right at the edge, there's this little halfling. She's a big burst of curly red hair, and she's got freckles, and she's got a big huge eyes, and she sees you. She's like, oh, hi. Oh, hey. And she throws her arms up, and she hugs the elf, and the elf hugs her back. And she's like, it's so good to see you. Excellent, great. But
Hey.
you're the one. You come here. You're my first one. And she grabs your hand, and she starts walking with you. Yeah, well, I just became a herald. So this is my first time. So this is the first time for both of us.
Nice to meet you, Harold.
Oh, no, my name's not Harold. Hang on, sorry. My name is Harold Roswin.
You just said your name's not Harold.
It's not Harold. Harold is an honorific. It means instructor, basically, teacher.
My name's Saint Barb. I've considered Saint to be my first name, though it came second. But I guess it's also an honorific.
That's cool. We both want honorific. Excellent.
Will I ever become a herald?
Sure, maybe if you want to become an instructor. If you live. Yeah, if you live. And then if you want to. And then if they want you. But possible. Yeah, maybe.
Harold Saint Barb.
Harold St. Barb. Has a nice ring to it.
I'm excited to spend 4 years here learning the herald.
Yes. Well, you will learn lots of things. And again, she's like got her arm all the way up to have yours, right? And she's walking along. Do you have any questions about how things work? What you want to do?
Thousands, but I don't really care to hear the answers right now.
Okay, that's fair. And she just keeps walking with you. By the way, if you want to know, you should know who I am. I know that we kind of figured you out.
Oh my god, I already forgot your name. It's Harold something.
Harold Roswin.
Roswood.
Roswin. Roswin.
Roswood.
Roswin.
Roswin.
Win. There we go. Yay. Yay. And I am the demigod of terror.
Whoa, got that right. That clocks out.
And like as she says it, like dark edges curl at her eyes, and you can feel like not so much if darkness gathered behind her, but if light was sucked away.
Uh-huh.
And then it's just gone. And then she's like, hey, and she's back to being happy. You know.
For Barb, there are 2 types of terror. There's the fear of death and the unknown.
Yes.
And then there's also social interactions.
Oh, perfect. She's
So-
checking off both boxes
Yeah.
here.
I was like, yeah, I knew that already.
You are too.
So you guys start walking towards the temple. Hold there. Theodore. So, you've been in a boat for a couple of weeks. How do you feel about being in a boat?
It is amazing. I've probably spent most of my time actually helping out and trying to learn all sorts of things. I'm already really good at tying knots one-handed.
Yeah.
And, really just trying to work.
Roll me 3 survival rolls.
3. Wow.
Roll a 1 and you
So
die.
nice knowing you. Thank you for having me.
Theodore's dead, episode
Wow.
1.
Right. Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry.
Already
Like-
cheating.
Ah,
Did you see that?
Already.
Oh, I can't read it. Oh, it's a
whoa.
shame
You
to
can't
die
read
move.
that. There's no numbers.
Why are
It
you
did
using
look
that?
like it was either a 7 or
It was
1.
low. It was under a 10.
It was like
Roll
a
it
7
again.
or
It was
Roll
under
it
a
It
10.
was
Roll.
something.
We have to be sure. You have to roll again
I know
now.
I can roll that one.
Do you need a different?
Something I can see.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice bright numbers. That's a. Yep, just double confirmed. It was under a 10.
Yep.
It's a 1.
To 1. Okay.
Wow.
First one is a 1.
Theodore died.
Oh, that's a 19.
Okay. Good.
And that's a 17.
Okay. So you start off doing great. Like you start off doing really well. They start, tie this rope down, move this sail, hoist this jib, whatever the hell it is. So they tell you to
Hoist this
boat
jib.
boat stuff, right?
Boat
Yeah.
terms, yeah.
Yeah. So you start doing boat stuff, and you're doing really well for like the first 2 weeks, and then the 3rd week a squall picks up, and you are fighting as hard as you can because they're now counting on you because you've now kind of integrated yourself into part of the crew. What was the name of the person who picked you up? I'm the worst DM. Vera? Vera. And yes, okay, so Vera's also helping. So you're all kind of like, everyone's got to be like all hands on deck for this one. While you're in kind of like maybe 10 feet off the ground in one of the nets trying to rope down a sail, there's a huge gust of wind, A pole comes free. You're struck and you're knocked off the boat and into the water.
Ah.
Man overboard! So what are you doing?
Freaking out. I don't know how to swim.
Oh, you know, this one. I would like you to roll a acrobatics check.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
sorry, athletics. I apologize.
Actual death.
Oh my gosh.
You said athletics?
Yeah.
That's 17.
Okay, so you are able to swim over to the side of the boat, and there are like ropes attached to it, so you can climb up it. But they're wet and slippery, and your arms are freezing at this point. So I want you to roll another athletics check.
Nope, that's 9.
Okay, so you get like your arm in it, but you're being drugged by the boat now, and it's exhausting. Your arms are beginning to go weak. Verdon's over the side trying to get another line down to you, not being terribly successful. I would say you have one more roll before you're going to be at disadvantage. So try one more athletics roll.
The pressure.
No.
I shouldn't look over there.
13.
No, 13's good because it's a rope ladder, even though it's wet. So you are able to climb up and get over the edge, just barely, exhausted. Yeah. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. And just like vomits water a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
A small fish,
No,
right?
no big, yeah.
Made of bones.
Yeah.
Verdon looks really upset. Losing a student is not good, and Verdon is really like, listen. Let's just stay on the ground until we get there.
Well, I was on the ground. It's not your fault. I should have been more careful.
It's all my fault, and I apologize for not being more aware. Let's get you downstairs, and helps you downstairs, puts a nice comfortable, blanket on you. There's no fire, of course, because it's a boat, but can't really start a hearth going in a wooden ship. But
No.
But gets you down there, and then maybe turns some of these rocks, like some of these pale colored rocks, and turns them so they touch each other, and they just start to glow with warmth.
Okay. I just kind of put my hand out just to kind of warm up.
Yeah, get your fingers moving.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you quite all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, it was a bit scary, but it's okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
And you're okay, and nobody else went overboard. I mean, we're going to be okay.
No, we lost 5 people. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Just
Sorry.
Wow.
I apologize. I have a weird sense of humor when I'm stressed out. Listen, everyone's fine. You're fine. And we should be there by tomorrow morning.
Okay. And tomorrow, so this is all really happening still.
Oh, quite. Absolutely. You will meet your destiny tomorrow morning.
I almost met my destiny over the edge.
Yes, you did. But it was not your destiny. It was simply a challenge along the way, and you will face many of those. You will think they are your destiny, but they are just bumps in the way. Small, insignificant things in the way to what you will become.
What am I supposed to become?
That is up to you.
Is there anything I should be prepared for tomorrow? Or, I mean, I know we've kind of gone over some stuff before, but just, crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
Quite honestly, keep an open mind and prepare to make friends.
Okay, that should be okay. That's totally doable.
Yes, absolutely. Now, get some sleep. We'll see you in the morning.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
And in the morning, your ship pulls around to this giant rock face. Get in the elevator, kunk, 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 right? Going up.
Still flying around.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like,
2
come
days,
on.
no land.
Yeah, 2 days, no day.
We don't have peanuts. Come on.
Yeah.
So, and you're taken to the top, and at the top of this elevator is a massive Goliath. And he is decked out in all these rings and dripping with jewels, and he has this huge silk kind of caftan that attaches to the back and attaches to rings on his hands and feet, and when the wind picks it up even a little bit, it comes out like a sail, and there's all these jewel-toned silks that just flow behind him, and he's just magnificent. And he's standing there with his hands before him. He nods. Verdun, thank you. Theodore,
Yes, sir.
walk with me.
Yes, sir.
He starts walking beside you, and you're just on this huge bridge, and it's a gorgeous day. It's blue and sunny, and it's a September. Well, it's Palan, but it's September, and there's this cool crispness to the air, and for a moment you're just stunned by everything, just taking everything in, and then
Can I just look back to
Oh, yeah.
Vidon
Yeah.
and like this is okay. This is right.
nods, gives you a little wave, and then the elevator vanishes back down the cliff. So the Goliath has their fingers tented in front of them, and they're just walking forward, and then turns to you at one point. Just kind of looks down. You seem poor.
Oh.
Not a judgment, just a statement.
I'm practical.
Practical. But poor.
Well, I don't have any money with me.
That will not help you here. My name is Harold Vardan.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Harold Vardan.
I am your representative here. If you have issues with the academy, any of your fellow teachers or students, you come to me.
Of course.
Excellent. Oh, and I am the demigod of wealth. And as he says that, like, all the gems sparkle on him. Like, they all hit the light at just the right time, and it's this cascade of brilliance.
It's Armstrong just doing one of these.
Yeah.
Sparkles all over the place.
Exactly.
And his sails pick up, and he just flies away.
Yes.
His roses are being
Goodbye.
tossed everywhere.
Yes, goodbye. My wealth carries me. Do you need to know anything?
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
What are we doing here?
You are a student.
Okay. And what will we be learning? Or what am I learning?
Well, mainly on how to control your abilities, how to work within the human structure so that we do not upset them, and how not to anger the gods.
Those are all really good things to learn.
Yes.
I don't intend on angering any gods.
Most of us don't. It does happen.
And where are you from?
Where am I from? I am from the north, and he talks about these mountains to the north where his whole tribe would just basically carve out the entire tops of mountains. So they would kind of hollow them out into these grand halls, and they would mine much of the gems and stones from beneath them, and they would just have these, resplendent halls just at the very, very top of these mountains where they would sing and worship and live.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was fun.
What brought you out here instead?
Well, I'm beyond them. They are but mortals, and I am a demigod.
Are you not allowed to be among mortals?
Not that I'm not allowed to be, but why would you? Why would a person hang out with sheep?
It's a lot of reasons.
I mean, sheep are kind of necessary for,
If you're a shepherd.
Well, I'm not a shepherd. I'm a soldier.
I've heard this about you. Can I see your arm?
Kind of holds up his arm.
Yes, but can I see your arm?
Okay. And he kind of thinks about it and tries to almost like flex as if it's like a reactionary, like muscle type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it work?
No, it does. It just forms like almost like ice crystals until there's this perfect blade of gleaming diamond. He kind of leans down and he very gently runs a finger along the edge of the blade, and it comes back and he barely touched it and he's cut. Right? He's like, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, do not be. That is magnificent.
Thank you.
Excellent. You will do quite well here. And you guys continue to walk towards the temple.
Guy's a nasty pervert.
I wrote down on my
my
notes,
sword.
Harold Vardan, elitist douche.
That's exactly what it is. I was trying to think of like ways to introduce each one, and I was like, he's just gonna say you look poor, because how much? Because it's gonna just
Yeah, what
line
an
exactly
introduction.
who he is. Yeah.
That's what he says to everyone. No, well, you look
Poor.
we're teenagers. We have no money.
What do you want me
So-
to do?
As you guys are walking, you notice an airship just kind of curl around top of you and land a couple 100 yards off to the west. And it alights perfectly. There's no bounce, it just lands in the middle of this stone disc, and you are let out. The whole gangplank puts down. Roger's like, shall we?
I suppose.
Excellent. You're always ready. I like that about you. And the gangplank opens, you all walk down, and standing in front of you is this incredibly pale elf with red-rimmed eyes and shock white hair, and he's just kind of casually leaning against this bow, and he's like, hey,
Hey.
hello. You are the one I've been waiting for.
Really?
Oh, yes, I am Harold Ryle.
I'm Astrid.
I know.
I figured.
Yes, and he looks down at the wolf, and he kneels, and he puts out a hand, like the back of his hand. You are magnificent.
She is.
Yes, oh, lovely. And doesn't snip his hand. He looks a little disappointed, but he's like, all right. So it's good to have you here. It's good to have you both here. Well, it's good to have you here, and I suppose he's also you. She is also you. Pardon me. She is also you. So you're both you. Anyway, it's, demigod. Come on, please walk.
Me and her exchange like a look of like, I don't know. Sure.
The hell is this guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I am Harold Ryle. I am the demigod of the hunt.
Oh. I know about that.
I know you know about that, and I'm quite excited to hunt with you.
Oh, I'll totally do better than you.
No,
Yes.
impossible.
I will bet you.
Well, I am literally the demigod of the hunt.
Yeah, and I'm literally me.
He kind of leans back, and the wolf kind of looks up at you, too. All right, then. All right, you know what? I will take that wager. How about... Oh, this is the first one. Your first black pudding. The chef here makes a black pudding only on Saturdays. Well, there won't be Saturdays in this world, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Only on
Saturday,
feast days.
September.
Only on
I'm
feast
loving
days. I know.
this.
I don't know why I
dare
did this to
you.
myself.
Eat your heart out, Tolkien.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's like, why don't I make my own calendar and my own days? That'll never be confusing. So on feast days, there's a special black pudding that the chef makes, and his deal is that if you'll go on a hunt, and if you beat him, whatever rules you decide on,
Yeah.
he gets your pudding.
I'll take that.
All right. Excellent. Anything you need to know?
Probably a lot, but I assume I'll be lectured at a ton.
Yes. Well, you're being
Yeah.
taken to meet your house now, and when you all get together, you will then drop off your things and get your beds and.
My house.
Oh, well, there's others. So there are 16 students total, and each of you are arranged into groups of 4. So you will meet the other 3 that you will be, I guess, it's an interesting word. Friends is a word. Compatriots is a word. Mainly, though, you'll be relying on them for your life.
Oh. Okay.
So that level.
Do the houses get to intersect at all?
Oh, yes, you'll all be interacting with each other, eating with each other, competing with each other, and you'll also be learning with each other.
Okay.
Yes, but mainly this will be your core for while you're here. The first thing you need to do is think of a name and a patron. And as he says that, you're kind of walked in through the main doors of this outside ring. So there's this huge inner dome. And inside this dome, it is like a recreation of a continent. There is a giant city that is off to the left with walls. To the north, there's a burning desert. In the center, there's this huge towering outcrop of rock that sits in the middle of water. There's a little bit of forest that kind of wraps around to mountains here. And it's all kind of like staged in this giant circle. And you're just kind of walked into the center, and the 3 of you were arriving basically through other doors and kind of all together at once.
Which door did I come in through?
Let's say north, south, east, west. So you were north, you were south, you were west, and you were east.
The burning desert.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
The one that seems completely out of place
Yeah,
to all the
100
others.
yeah, 100%.
I walk in, I'm like, oh God, I didn't mean to. What?
And as you step in, you all kind of step onto this like 10-foot silver disc. So you and your herald would step on, and it lifts up, and you're all just kind of carried quickly towards the center with this giant outcropping of rock. And as you're carried towards it, stone rises out around it. So there's a round, just circle of low stone just above the water, and you all are, let down and kind of in a group around each other. The heralds look at each other like, hello, yes, hello, and you are introduced to each other, or just walked up to each other, basically.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Janice.
I'm Astrid.
Theodore.
Perfect. All right. Oh, well, this is going well. So Vardon's like, you will be met by the others. Please wait here. They will return. And Vardon and the heralds take their leave of you, step onto the discs, and go away. There's this giant dome arena.
Are there doors?
Yeah, well, they're the doors you came,
The same doors.
Came through, yeah. Which would
Alright.
now be about, like a quarter day's journey to the north, yeah.
So I can't go back to the door.
You could start out now, but there's also water in between you now.
Shit.
You're kind of on this little island.
We're on an
in the
island.
center,
Escape.
yeah,
I don't want to go in the water.
yeah.
No more water
Not
for
good
you.
with water anymore.
Everyone stay away from the water.
What's wrong with the
Why?
water?
Something with it?
Water is a place where anything could happen, mostly bad things.
Why do you say that?
Personal experience.
Ah.
He's not wrong.
Are you a sailor?
No, God, no. Purposefully, I like to think. Not.
I like the water. It's
Why?
calming.
Huh?
So,
I like snow. It's kind of like water. I don't know.
yeah.
So the weather. That's what we're gonna talk about.
Perception rolls from all of you.
It's a 10 for me.
13.
18.
18. What'd you get?
13.
13. Okay, 18. So you're all kind of like nervously having small talk, right? Just you're trying to figure each other out. And you kind of look past them, and the edge of the water ripples, and then a form rises out of it, turns into a form of a man who steps onto the platform and then is just there. Like the water kind of goes off him, and he's this pale blue, shaved head. He has a staff of ice that forms in his hand, and he just kind of steps up. Students!
I knew it. I knew it. I knew
You
it.
were
I
right.
knew it.
You were so right.
I knew it. I knew it. I go and grab my bone and hold it awkwardly to defend myself.
Sure. I am not here to attack you. I'm here to greet you.
Very abrasive for a greeter.
Well, I am your combat instructor, so there will be times when I attack you.
Combat?
Yes. You will learn many things here at the temple. How to defend yourself is key among them.
Theodore kind of like stands as tall as a 4'2" gnome can stand. Just like ready.
I know of your prowess. You will be quite fine. Your battle skills have already been tested.
Thank you, sir.
I will expect you to help lead the others.
Of course, sir.
Excellent. I am Dima. I am the demigod of condensation. Do you laugh? Yes.
I thought you were just going to say, I am the demigod, period. I am it. I'm the demigod.
All right. You let out a slight laugh. His eyes dart to you and just slams his staff down, and he's instantly surrounded in like fog. Thick, dense fog. So you all are now just barely able to see each other.
I lay down on the floor,
Just lay
prone.
just lay on the floor.
Just lay on the floor.
So we can't see each other.
Barely. Like if you're within 5 feet, you can, but otherwise it's just like ghostly images.
I probably step back and step on Barb. Oh, God, okay.
Don't move.
I'm gonna cast light.
Nice.
And so my third eye
Yeah.
kind of glows and emits from my forehead.
Neat.
So I want to try to see if, it clears it up a little bit.
So you all now can see Janus well. Like in the fog with you, if you're within 15 feet of him, you can now see him. So it's like a central point, if anything else. What is everyone else doing while he's doing that?
Oh god. I will go to tummy time and get into some sort of like a mobile prone position.
Yeah.
In which I'm still trying to stay as low as possible.
Sure.
I have my big bone ready.
Yeah.
But low as possible.
Nice.
That's it.
All right. 3 ice daggers just fly out of nowhere and come very close to you, and you. Don't hit you, but come incredibly close.
I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Can I abstain?
I reach down and I say, "Where are you?" to my wolf.
Like the wolf is there, like pressed against you,
yeah.
kind of circled protectively around you.
I lean down and I say, "Go bite him in the ass."
Takes off, and then you see bounding through the fog, and then there's like a growl and a struggle, and like there's some like going back and forth, and there's like a whimper, and then there's quiet, and
Just kill my wolf. Man, episode 1 is
And that's your first lesson.
No.
Don't fuck with us, okay?
yeah.
Don't fuck
And
with
then
the other demigods.
The fog just kind of clears, and he's down there, and he was like, "Who is a good wolf? Who is a good wolf? Yes, you are. Yes, you are." Okay, well done. And he stands back up.
Now I know your weakness.
Don't ever, ever, ever look down upon any demigod in their powers. Some of them may be unusual. Some of them may seem strange. But others are far more powerful than you think. And he slams his staff down again, and just ice armor forms across all of them. This huge suit of the equivalent of plate mail. And he just whips the staff back around his neck. Please, follow me. I'll show you to your rooms.
Yes, sir.
All right. You all step onto another one of these silver discs. You're all carried back north. And behind, if the main temple's here, to the north of it, behind it, are several other buildings. And one of them is like a large collection of buildings. There's this gigantic 5-story, what do they call it when it's a greenhouse? So there's a 5-story greenhouse, all panes of glass and brass edging. And then around it is 2 wings, a main area in the front, and all of it looks very like an old school college. A lot of brick and fancy ornate windows, and they're all kind of tall and cathedral-like. And you are walked in through the front. There's various people around dressed in the same robes as the people who came to collect you. You're walked around a large dining hall, and you're walked through a library, and this library has books everywhere, but it's also got these glowing globes, and you can see someone in front of them just moving their fingers along them, and it moves the globe around, and then as they widen their fingers, it zooms in, so you can see different areas on the globes, and it's just basically showing them whatever they want to see. It also seems to be showing weather in real time.
That's amazing. Is that like some sort of scrying crystal ball or something?
It's magic.
Okay.
I mean, it's like,
I figured that.
Yeah, he doesn't understand it as well. He just knows what it is. Like, that is magic. It is some of the magic you will see here. If you think that's fun, hang on a bit. And we go to your room, and you are in East Red. The East Red dorm is a towering room drenched in crimson tapestries and linens. There are a series of marks on the walls, 6 in total, where paintings have been removed. Just these open holes on the wall. 4 beds line the walls, each with a magical locker at their feet. A golden handprint rests on the lid of each and can only be opened by the person who closed it. So when you put your handprint on it, it binds to you, and then that is your locker. And he's walking you through all of this. There's a big table in the middle of the room with several chairs, and as he leans one of the chairs forward so that it kind of tips over the table, it begins to just form into the table, and he lifts it all the way up, and it sinks down, and then there's like this rim on the edge, and the chair is just in the table and out of the way. And when he pulls up on the rim, the chair forms back out. In front of that are these slates of mirrors that are surrounded by brass. So it's about this large. And he picks one up and he hands it to you.
Me?
Yes. Ask it a question.
Any questions?
Sure.
What's the meaning of life?
Okay. And it kind of spirals for a while, right? It kind of like shows like a little spinning
Thinking,
beach ball,
thinking.
right? Yeah.
Is it like a hand mirror or like a?
Yeah, it's like a mirror in a frame. It's like an iPad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's an iPad, and it shows you the universe. It shows you all the stars and planets swirling about, and that's the answer you get.
What is my favorite food?
Okay, and it spins again for a second, and it shows you what your favorite food is. What is your favorite food?
Nice try, Mackenzie.
I know. I thought you were something else fun.
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Does that exist? What exists?
It's
in this
just
world?
spaghetti and tea. That's what it shows her back. Yep. Oh, wow. That sounds fantastic. Yes. You all, of course, have one of these. Use them in your studies. How they function in game is that if you roll a nature, religion, history, or arcana roll while you're using one of these, you do so with advantage. They cannot leave the grounds, but you may use them here.
The ground being the, not the.
Don't leave this building with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
our dorm room?
No, you can like go to the cafeteria and you can go to the library with them, but don't take them outside.
Or else.
We have a habit of losing them. Well, we had a habit of losing them.
What are they called?
Oh, slatey things. I don't know.
Lady
37 pages of notes. Not one name for our tablet
Didn't think
device.
to name our iPads.
They're called, knowledge
Pomegranates
tablets.
instead of apple things.
Tablets of knowledge.
Sure.
Mirror,
TOKs.
mirror shows.
Mirror
I'll
shows.
come up with the name.
That's
I'll
fun.
come up with the name.
What's
I'll-
on the mirror show tonight?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God, yeah. So that is your room, and then he's like, "I will give you time to get accommodated. Then please.
What happens if we take the tablet outside of the grounds?
Well, we will be alerted.
Okay.
Yes. As will you. It will
okay.
make quite a loud noise.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, let's like
Cool.
throw it over the boundary and see what happens.
You're here for 1 hour. You're already trying to find ways to screw with
I
the
know, I
rules.
was not expecting her to be like the troublemaker of
Right.
the group, but I guess she is.
All right.
So, do we have class today, or what's the plan?
You just are going to meet with the others and all be tested. So, go ahead and unpack, get comfortable, and someone will come for you. Anything else?
Did I pack?
Do you have anything? Well, you have your bone.
You put your bone in the locker.
Doesn't fit. Like it's halfway in.
Can I have a bigger chest?
And well, you also have like a wardrobe thing. You could easily get the bone in,
Okay.
so you could do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Do you have anything? Did you bring any
don't-
clothes or
I didn't- I
anything?
didn't
You didn't
bring
bring anything, did
I
you?
didn't know I was going to be gone for this long.
I didn't pack either.
Oh,
Do we need
I was told
weapons?
to
I have
pack.
all my things.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you should have your. Look. There's plenty of things here. If you need clothes, if you need whatever, we will get you things.
You can borrow some of my clothes if you
I want to talk to the head of recruitment. The lady said, "Are you ready?" right when she met me.
Right.
What was she thinking I would do?
Well, it's not. Look, every one of our seekers has their own ways, but it doesn't matter because any material thing you need, we can get you. There's nothing. Listen, you need to readjust your expectations. Everything here is for you. This entire thing is for 16 students. This is a tremendous amount of energy and time and material. There's nothing you cannot have. Simply ask.
Are you trying to make it sound fancier because you took us from our homes?
I honestly don't care about that part. But if it makes you feel better, sure. Didn't expect it to. But in the meantime, I don't know, you want a dress or a cake? Get you either
A
one.
dress or a cake?
Yeah.
The two needs every woman has.
I think I was really thinking of my own needs.
No, honestly, those are Mackenzie's needs.
Yeah.
I just need cake right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I really think that either I read you well or was just projecting my own. I think
I
that's
think
what it
that
was.
we're just alike,
Yeah.
and we both want dresses
Yep.
and cake.
Dresses and cakes. Yep. Anything else? I mean, sure, there's more things in life.
Can I have keys
Keys.
to the premises?
No.
Okay.
But nothing's locked.
Okay.
So you won't need them.
Okay.
Yes.
Except for our chests.
Well, those are locked, but they're keyed to you.
Right.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Just you. Well, no, any of the instructors or heralds could open those chests as well.
There
Oh,
it
that's an
is.
important
There it
thing to
is.
know.
Yes. Yes.
What do you plan on putting in there?
I don't know.
Private things. I
just-
start
I'm
unpacking
just-
my stuff.
I
I'm like,
only- I only
I've been
s-
through this already.
Yeah, you're all set.
I've lived in a
only-
house with
I only
people.
say that to say we have literally no privacy with anything. It could be a diary, it could be anything, but it can still be accessed by them, which is weird.
You will have no privacy. You will have no real sense of self for a while. But that will change. You will earn privileges. And as long as you all behave, you will be rewarded.
Great.
Anything else? I have many duties to attend to.
What time do we have to be up tomorrow?
No, you will be summoned shortly. So get comfortable. Oh, and also think about your house colors. And he gestures to the wall, and on the wall are all these banners. And like one will have a dragon, one will have an owl bear, one will have whatever. And the houses before you, the classes before you, name their house and pick their mascot. So you have an hour. Go ahead and choose yours. We'll return. And he walks out.
All right. So, I start unpacking and putting my stuff away and
Perfectly
just
organized.
look at my mirror and
Yeah.
kind of do my hair.
Everything's in plastic wrap. Like,
So we need a name and a mascot.
As you're saying that, and you've picked up the mirror, she's totally in it, and she's what's her name again?
Desdemona.
Desdemona is totally in it, and she's like looking around at the tapestries, and she's like, "This looks great."
Better than my previous room.
Totally, win it, get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
totally.
bye, and she kind of lies down.
So,
yeah, did we notice him talking to himself?
Right?
Oh, you know what? Roll perceptions,
I'm
and
very
you roll a deception because you're trying to hide it. I
Sure.
imagine.
yeah, I am for
Yeah.
now. I rolled an 18.
I rolled a 19.
Yay!
Was it
14.
14. Okay, so you don't, and you barely, like, out of the corner of your eye, you swear
like-
you catch him, like, yeah,
Talking to
like,
myself.
yeah, it's more than just looking in the mirror. He seemed to have been, maybe he was asking a question, but he was definitely communicating with that mirror.
I just looked to the wolf, kind of just like share that sight with her.
The wolf has already crawled up into your bed
Oh.
and has laid down and got a head in her paws and like looks up, right back down.
Big mood.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have an hour to name our house.
Yep.
And
Take our colors.
we're in the red room?
East
the
red.
The east red.
Yeah.
So I guess red.
It is crimson everywhere. Like everything
Well,
is freaking
also,
crimson.
if we want to make it represent us, and I sort of look around, I'm like, we're all kind of blue and gray. Like all of us. We're very together with our clothing.
I do hate red. I'm sorry.
I can go with any color.
Red represents aggression and power
It
and
does.
lust.
Theodore just kind of like adjusts
What's wrong with
his
lust?
goggles a little. His very red tinted goggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with lust? It's also the color of passion and love.
That's debatable.
Well, yeah, we're all kind of blue and gray. Are those too mopey? I don't mind mope.
Rope's
Mm.
nice.
Blue's kind of a regal color.
Blue's very nice. I like blue.
Yeah, we can go with blue.
Is that the decision you make?
Oh God.
A voice
Do we need
comes
to
from
pick?
the ceiling.
Do we need to pick a secondary color or a
Oh,
tertiary
yeah.
color?
So we have some differences. I don't know.
Oh, we want to
to
stand out. I'm sure there are other blue houses around here.
Yeah. We want to be special. Can we just be rainbow? Every color of the entire rainbow.
What if we did like cyan and magenta and what's the third printer
Cyan, magenta. Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
We're gonna be printer color.
Nobody ever remembers the yellow.
color? Yellow?
Yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Is it just yellow?
Is it just yellow?
It might just
Yellow.
be yellow.
Yellow's
Cyan,
not
magenta, and
pretty.
yellow.
It's not
Yeah.
a fun name.
No, it's not.
And Sunray.
Yes.
Sunray.
Cyan, magenta, and sunray.
But
Just
with those
bold
colors, we
colors.
could make any color.
Yeah. Or we could just be white, the absence of color.
I do like that.
That's pretty edgy. And I like point to my wolf, and I'm like,
But if we have to wear white, it's
is
really
it
dirty.
unflattering?
It gets really, really dirty. And if we're going to be fighting and there might be blood, that's really
True.
tough to get the stains out.
I like white, and I like touch my like one white streak in my hair.
Same with me, and I changed the color of my jacket to a
Ooh.
long white jacket.
Nice.
Same with me, and I look to my bone, and it's it's like barely white. It's like that muddied white.
yeah.
So, do you have your like diamond sword out or anything that indicates the?
No,
No,
it
so-
yeah,
It
it
indicates
comes from his
your-
arm, so he's just missing an arm.
Okay.
Diamonds are white, and we don't know that.
We don't know that.
So, off-colored white it is.
3 out of 4 do agree.
Beige? Is it- you
Antique
want-
white. Antique white.
Antique white, or pearl, right? Isn't that like a kind of a
Ooh, I love pearl.
pearlescent white?
Will
We
they
could each
accept
pick a
that?
color.
And what? What?
We could each pick a color for our house colors.
If all of us chose white, then it would look like a solid color.
Yes, if all of you chose the same color, what you did look like a
Aren't
solid
we
color.
supposed to pick just one color for the house? Like, right? Just one color?
Basically, what they want. You can do whatever you want. What they want is one color for the house to represent the house, and then some sort of creature as your mascot.
We don't have
we
to
could
follow the
literally be the
rules.
white
No.
wolves. Can I put- That's a little too on the nose.
For one person, it is.
Yeah.
The wolf looks happy.
Yeah,
What's-
she's happy.
What's your pet's name?
Oh. Do you have a name?
And
I see
she
that.
kind of looks up at you and like turns her head and like kind of expectantly looks at you.
Her name is Luna.
That's
The
a
wolf
pretty
nods.
name.
Well, Luna nods. Pardon me.
Luna, yeah. she's
Luna
named now.
nods and looks quite pleased with that name and goes back to sleep.
She's beautiful.
I just met her.
Luna wakes back up. Kind of poses, looks around, tosses her head, goes right back to sleep.
I say Luna should be our mascot.
You say Luna should be the mascot?
Yes. Why
I
not? She's gorgeous.
We physically have her. She can run around during games. I don't know. Is that what mascots are used for?
I want to show some form of rebellion against our oppressors.
Okay.
They're just
Right
they're
on.
just teachers, not oppressors.
They also took us
They
from our
took us.
homes.
They
like,
say we can't leave, and they talk about our death over and over again.
yeah, I agree.
we can leave though when we're done.
Right.
That's-
How about some prison bars?
As our mascot.
Yeah.
I like you a lot. What's your name?
St. Barb.
Astrid, I like you.
Thanks.
Prison bars. The sad wolf behind them.
A wolf in prison bars.
Oh, cry.
Oh, how about just like a cage? Just like the silhouette of a
A
cage.
cage. The white cages? I don't know.
A
is that-
pearlescent
A
cage.
pearlescent cage.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
I like it. It's a statement.
Can we make it a gilded cage?
I don't see
A
why not.
white cage, and if we put everything
Or a
like
bird in a
thing
cage. It
from,
could be a bird in a cage.
well, I was gonna say like if something that was like an homage to each one of us inside the cage.
Mm.
Like I could put a bone in it. You could put. Are you the demigod of wolves?
No, do we know like our specific like
You all have figured it out for yourselves. Yes, absolutely.
at this point I know
Yep.
what I am?
Absolutely.
No, I'm tied to the stars.
Oh, I'm the demigod of this one bone.
That singular right there.
As far as I know.
A-bone?
I'm tied to the stars is all I know.
Oh, so not the wolf.
Not the wolf,
That's
but
misleading.
I think that she might be made of stars. I'm very confused.
I heard people say that we're all made of stars.
That is very true. Yes. But I think she literally is made
So
of
if
stars.
we put a bone or a star made of bones, I don't know either of you two what your deal is.
Fashion.
Okay,
Demigod fashion.
Really?
a good
I'm
looking
not going to
bone.
reveal
I
anything.
love it.
Well, are we
I love
going?
it.
Are we getting too detailed? Because like, can they really script that onto like a flag?
They asked us.
True.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't want to follow by the rules.
As you're talking, by the way, there is a laid out piece of blank silk in front of you with edging as a
Are we
flag.
supposed to draw our own thing?
No, as you've been speaking, actually, it's been shifting. So as you've mentioned colors, it changes
shifting
colors.
a lot.
Yeah.
So
As you
much.
mention things, it shows imagery.
That's
So
so creepy.
as you're talking, it's showing you. Right now, it's overly
Beautiful.
complicated, to be honest.
Yeah,
Roman
it
Mars
looks
would be
like a
very
mess.
upset about this flag.
We could be like pirates.
Like skull and crossbones.
Yeah. But instead of the skull, keep the crossbones high. And instead
Just
put
one bone.
sure one bone. One. I still don't know your fashion. What are you?
Diamonds.
Okay, so one
Ooh.
diamond,
Oh,
one
I love
bone. A star. That's questionable how we're gonna represent that. And
Maybe
a
a-
T-shirt.
T-shirts.
You said
What about like a
fashion.
thread needle?
How about like a plumed hat or a rose or something?
I like rose better than hats.
So you've now got a cage of diamonds that has a rose in it inside. Okay, wait, no, hang on. There's a cage made out of stars, and there's a rose inside a vase made out of diamonds, right?
This is why you don't
What?
give
Okay.
children choices.
And around the rose is all of those bone white babies'
so
breath
dumb.
edging out
No,
from
hold
it.
on. Wait, did you say a bone white baby's breath?
Yeah, so that bone
baby's
white
breath.
flower, that baby's
Flower, yeah.
breath. So, but it actually
that's the
looks
name
like
of a
little.
flower.
Yeah, but it actually looks like little
Not a
bones.
baby breathing.
So a single rose made out of. Wait, shoot. Where were we? No, wait. This is
What's
so
that?
confusing.
We just-
What silk can't handle this?
I know.
Hold on.
It's gonna
The
break.
most important thing is the cage.
Yeah.
As a sign
Should we
of
just
awareness
be-
in rebellion to our oppressors.
A
Yes.
cage.
I think we
What
need
if
to edit.
Simple it.
Yeah,
But-
I
but
think we're
we need
getting
to edit this
overly
down.
complicated.
So instead of a cage, you're feeling oppressed, right? How about just a square? And whatever you want can go into the square.
Like a sad
I like
face.
And to kind of compromise, we like white, and you want maybe to represent more of the cage. What about black? We just stick with black and white. You have a white backdrop, black square. Everything else in it is black too.
All happens.
And what's in the square?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I was gonna joke and say it should be like Saint Bob like shoving a sword through like the god of condensation. No, I mean I like simple things.
Yeah, me too. There's elegance to that.
Is that your answer?
A black background.
No white
White
background with
A
a
white
black.
background with
A
a
white
black
background with a white square.
Black background, white square, right?
No white
No.
background, black
White-
square.
Right.
Yeah.
White background, black square.
If they said we need to have a creature, what do we tell them? It's a it's
A
a
wolf.
cube.
Gelatinous cube.
Yeah, gelatinous cube. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Anyone,
Yeah.
Assumes
anyone
everything.
listening to this is gonna be like, "What the 15, 15, 15, 15, 15."
Opportunity to pick like a really cool Hogwarts house. This is what we're
We
going
chose
We-
the
we dropped
black
the ball, guys.
gelatinous cube.
We picked a minimalist gelatinous cube. That's
Yeah,
what we
should be
picked.
Cool. I can't even. Yeah, literally anyone listening to this is gonna be like, "What the hell? Come on."
We should have the wolf in the box because the wolf represents us and we're
Does it?
trapped inside this box.
Well, represents me.
Well, the wolf is living here and I think it should be our mascot.
Wolves are really cool.
Technically, we have a team of 5. So.
Could it be the skeleton of the wolf?
Ooh, yes, a skeleton wolf with diamond eyes.
Ooh, now we're on to
wearing
something.
and like on top of a t-shirt.
No t-shirt. I look absolutely disgusting.
No. Look, the wolf just has really good heels. That's all. Just really good heels.
I like a skeleton wolf with diamond
Little-
eyes.
With little booties.
Maybe so just the head, maybe.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
head.
Just the
skeleton
head.
wolf.
And maybe a rose.
Can it, have like
Yeah,
a,
we could have a rose in
I-
its ear or around its neck or something.
Yeah.
I don't like silhouettes because I don't like asymmetry. So could we have it be facing? I don't know
Sure.
the
Like
word.
the,
Sure,
like the
yeah.
head of a wolf.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Diamond eyes.
Yeah.
It's just made of skeleton.
And
yeah.
then, and then you want to do a rose instead of a t-shirt?
Listen.
the ro-
What's
the
your
rose
name
can be
again?
On a
at the-
t-shirt.
At the base of it, I guess.
Yeah, or like a
Yes,
rose
the
necklace kind of hanging around the wolf.
Or even
Yes.
about 2 roses crossed instead of like a skull and crossbones. You have 2 roses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like
Skull in front.
the skeleton wolf is the skull of the crossbones that are now flowers.
What?
I love it.
Like it's like a wolf head and then like roses,
Roses
behind
in the
its
back.
head.
Okay.
Diamond eyes, and it's made of.
Bone.
Are we still doing the
Bone.
square?
Yeah.
No, I think
don't
that
think we
I think
need a
that
square
we
now.
scratched it. I
Yeah.
think
No
it's just
square.
the wolf.
Poor Tapestry is trying so hard to keep up. So as you guys are like narrowing down on this,
I think we got it.
Yeah, this like that looks great, and you just kind of notice that Roswin is behind you, and she's kind of like up on her tippy toes, looking at it. That
Oh.
looks awesome.
Harold.
Hey,
Hey,
I haven't met your friends.
I haven't really either. Oh, no, they introduced themselves. Wolf, Astrid,
Hi.
Hello.
Obedient, Diamonds,
Hi.
Hi.
and really likes clothes and roses.
Oh, cool. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I am Harold Roswin. I'm a demigod of terror, and I like this. I like it a lot. This
Thanks.
is really interesting.
Does it instill fear and terror?
Well, it can. Anything can. But not right now. Anyways, you ready?
For what?
Oh, to meet the others and to be tested.
What's the
What
test?
do we need?
Can't tell you.
No cheat sheet. Just a little bit.
No.
Please.
And she looks over at your wolf and she leans over and whispers into the wolf's ear. Best I can do.
Could you tell it to my bone, too?
Tell it
That's
to
a
my
weird thing to
bone.
say. No.
Sorry.
Only one. I need to get speak with animals.
Right. The wolf's like, hey, look, I know, but I can't tell
I
you.
love Taylor Day, and I won't make any
Me
Taylor Day
too.
reference.
Are you all ready?
No,
No.
but we have no
Right, fair enough.
No.
Fair enough. All right. You are walked back into the main dome, and you are walked in through the north, through the burning sands. Again, you step onto a disc, and you are brought back into the center. Now, the rock, this huge, like 20-story rock that was in the center, is gone. Apparently, it either just vanished or lowered into the floor or whatever, and now there's just a large open circle in the middle surrounded by water. There are several other students there. There is a young, thin tiefling. There is a very handsome human who looks like a jerk. There is
I'm interested.
There is a. Right. Hey, that's my type.
A jerk, my
Oh,
type.
going.
Does he have lots of attitude and will treat me poorly? I'm in.
I can fix him.
There's a halfling with short cropped hair. There's a young boy who has these two like giant sacks on either side of him that have two big hooks that he pulls up, and they appear to be wax lined. And as he walks, like water spills out a little bit from the top of them. It's odd. There's a dark-skinned dwarf with long flame red hair. There's a dude with like kind of a thin ropey beard, a scar across his face, and like very dark set eyes. There is a half orc woman. There is an elf, but she doesn't look very elfy. Like she looks a little bit elf, but actually more human. And that strikes all of you as odd. There is another Goliath. There's a woman who basically is half snake. You have all heard of these people. Wanti Purebloods. Yanti. Is it Yanti? I'm the worst DM.
Wanti.
Yeah, Yanti Purebloods. You all have heard of them. None of you have ever seen one in person. There is a little, even for a goblin, that is kind of like running around and skittering. And there is a Aarakocra who is just gorgeous. All these different colors of feathers that seem to glow underneath the light. And they're all just kind of gathered around. Seem to be in groups of 4. Like you can see where their houses have formed too, right? But they're all kind of trying to talk to each other. And you guys are the last to arrive.
Oh, of course. We look coolest because we're the last ones arriving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to stride in.
Of course.
In front of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And
the human catches your eye. The one who's clearly a jerk, like sees you kind of stride in. Roll me a performance.
Roll for walk, please.
Yeah, it's always a performance.
14.
Okay, yeah, you hold you're a little nervous. It's hard not to be, but you hold yourself well. You've done this before. And he definitely you catch him glance over at you.
Okay. I just smirk, and I don't even pay attention to him, but I know he's watching me.
We're
Nice.
laying down the groundwork early. We just met these people.
One of the young guy with the giant sax comes like kind of waddling over to you. And yeah, and because you have a wolf.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
like,
do.
You have a wolf.
Yes.
Oh wow! It's a whole wolf.
Yeah, she's not half a wolf.
Well, hang on. And they're like, oh, and he like lets these things off his shoulders and they kind of open up into pools on either side of him, and 2 otters pop up and kind of like hug over the edge and are looking, and like one of the otters is like batting at the wolf's nose, and looks a little annoyed, but is also sniffing and figuring it out. This is Flip and this is Flop. And as he says that, Flip does a little jump into the air. There's a perfect dive right back down. Flop jumps into the air and just belly flops straight back into it and like covers him in this ice cold water. And he's like, he does that. Anyway, hi.
Hi, can they be petted?
Oh, yes, of course. And they
yes.
pop right up and they're perfectly happy.
wanna give
They're kind of
this-
pushing each other out of the way so that they can get more pets.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like smooching and petting.
Oh, they love it.
I
They
love
love it so
animals.
much. My name's Wendell.
I'm Astrid.
Oh, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, because I know it's kind of rude to ask, but like, who are you the demigod of?
I don't think I have like a name, but the stars seem pretty important.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm the demigod of otters.
Oh, okay, really?
Yes.
Just otters.
I mean, otters are important.
No, I just like
I mean, it's not just otters. I mean, otters do a lot of things, and like I can do things in the water and little things with my hands. And
things with your hands.
yeah.
What can you do with your hands?
Well, like when I'm in the water, I like move better and like I can build things.
Are you
and
an otter? Do you become an otter? That's really cool.
No,
Okay.
no, but I can swim like an otter, and I can be in cold water and not die.
That is an admirable.
It's
trait.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Well, that's very cool.
Okay, and like he kind of looks back, and the 4 people he's with, the 3 people that he's with, one of them is this tiefling, right? Who just kind of glares over at him and gives him a little nod. He's like, bye, and he just runs over back to his group.
Bye. I guess.
Yeah, well, he hooks himself up and waddles back over to his group. It's very hard to move in this contraption he has.
I look at Luna and I'm like, he's weird.
Wolf just kind of nods, like, yeah.
The wolf says.
I like
Yeah.
being judgmental of my wolf.
Yeah, no, and the wolf is like the wolf is judgmental back, like yeah, very
And
odd.
also, I'm saying it because I assume like she doesn't know constellations is her thing.
Right.
Right. I
Just
know I was
stars.
birthed from a star.
Right,
And I
yeah. You haven't really named it yet. It's
Yes,
not as
okay.
clear as
I just want to make
diamonds
sure because
or
everyone
bones.
else seems to have like I know that I'm this thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like I don't.
Well, I mean,
Stars?
some of them are obvious. Like this kid knows he's the demigod of otters.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's
And I know
pretty
that
obvious.
I know that Luna is a constellation.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. Yeah.
I love it. Anyone else talking 21?
No. God, no.
No, not at all. Just kind of hovering. Yeah. What about you?
Yes.
Continuing to walk back and forth.
He's strutting.
Yeah.
Is it a
No.
mix? Are everyone staying to their 4 groups, or are they? Are we mixing and
You're
mingling?
kind of near each other, and there'll be an occasional small talk, but they're kind of staying to their cliques already. You know? Yeah.
As intended.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there who else in this group? Like, does everybody else look fairly like they're fairly new to being at the temple?
That's a good
Or-
question. So how would you judge that?
Well, I guess body language.
Okay, so I would say that the human and his group.
Yeah.
So the tall human is with. Oh, geez, I got to get these groups in order. But the tall human is definitely very comfortable in his own skin. The Goliath that is with him also seems comfortable. I would say that the small goblin looks a little nervous. Wendell seems like he just got out of grade school, right? The half-elf seems pretty confident. So I shouldn't have said there was a half-elf, but the half-elf seems pretty confident.
Spoiler alert.
The half-orc seems pretty confident. The
Tiefling.
thank you, is just eyeing the whole room. Like sitting back quietly, keeping his group together, but never takes his eyes off the entire room. Is clearly scoping everyone out. The rest are just kind of in a middle stage of bewilderment and, general awkwardness.
So, do you think we're meant to fight against each other?
Or fight them.
Right. Yeah. Like as houses against houses, or
I was told there'd be combat and potential death, so I would assume so.
God.
Mm.
I'm not laying down yet.
I like it's your go-to move.
Yeah.
Well, who's the only one that didn't get an ice dagger thrown at them? Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting in defensive crouching position.
Excellent.
Amazing. Is the half elvish looking person the only elvish looking person? Other than me?
Yes.
No, I was just curious. So that the me and them are the only two.
The only elf you saw
elvish.
was Harold Ryle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she is elf-ish. It's
Yeah,
weird.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just curious if there was any more elves.
That's it.
Just me and her.
Just you and her. Yeah.
Lit.
So as you guys are kind of getting comfortable, the ceiling just opens up. So there's just a circle in the ceiling, and one of these silver discs lower in, and on it is Harold Roswin, Harold Medina, and Instructor Dima, and they're all lowered to the ground in front of you. Actually, sorry, Archon Dima is how he would be referred to. Lowered into the center. Class, gather around. We are now going to test you. Please have your seats. And he waves, and these chairs form, these stone chairs in a semicircle facing the middle.
Okay.
I sit.
Excellent. You all sit together, I assume?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. As you all sit down, the one human sits down next to you. Just kind of throws his cape aside and sits, turns to you and nods.
Oh, I love the peacocking.
My name is Malvorn. Yours?
Janice, what's your story?
My story.
Yeah.
My story is that I'm here to win.
Oh, I didn't think this was a competition.
Everything is a competition, especially when you are the demigod of victory.
Oh.
That just seems like cheating.
He's already gonna
I'm
win.
not buying it.
Yeah.
I like your style.
Likewise.
From the north?
Am I from the north?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Ah,
How can you tell?
because, and he leans over, and without even asking, just kind of grabs the threads. Onion silk?
I didn't give you permission to touch me.
You did not.
So I just turned my head away and go back to
All right,
class.
excellent.
Yes,
All
play hard to
right,
get,
fine.
baby. Play hard to get.
Guess we're going straight to bitchy frenemies.
Enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
4,000 words.
Yeah. All right, so
I lean over to Janice. Your T-shirt is made of onions. Doesn't that eventually smell?
Pay attention to class, St. Barb.
Janice and Barb.
we are very proud
Jarb.
to have you all here. And this
Ship
is
it so much now.
this is Archon Dima speaking.
Sorry.
We are incredibly pleased to have you all here. And we would like to find out more about each of you. So one by one, I'm going to call you up and request of you a test.
Hope
And
it's not alphabetical. I say to Tito,
My last name starts with a Z, so I'm okay.
my first last name starts with an A.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're screwed. So as he says that, there is a loud thoom, and the whole ground shakes, and you can see like a little bit of dust from the stone ceiling kind of rain down upon you. And then there's a louder thoom around you.
Like just instinctually reach for my sword.
Totally. Just ching.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm sitting.
Yeah, I'm playing it cool.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
gonna play it cool.
what's going on?
All the other students are like in various kind of like, some are standing up, some are getting ready. Dima looks like a little confused and looks towards the ceiling, and then summons his staff. There's another thoom. The front doors to the north burst open, and soldiers come streaming through it. There's a crack in the ceiling, and one piece of stone tumbles down and crashes into the water. Wizards are lowering from the ceiling. Bolts of lightning, fireballs cracking. Another door bursts open. Orcs pour into it. Third door bursts open. Elves pour in with bows, and arrows start to rain towards you. You can just hear people screaming, "Kill the demigods, slaughter them all." What are you doing?
This is totally a test.
Sword out, standing up, ready to go.
All right.
Like looking
Right.
to the party,
There's
making sure they're
hundreds of people pouring towards you. Hundreds. Others flying. There's creatures being ridden in, griffins, and all sorts of manner of beasts. This is a full army descending upon you.
So the prone position has arrived.
Prone with your bone. Get prone with the bone.
It's still that like tummy time crawl position. It's almost like it's like accidentally kind of like a spider, but I'm just waiting for something to engage me first before I do anything.
As you're doing it, and you just kind of like look to the left, the little goblin is right on her stomach next to you, crawling right along with you, doing the exact same thing, looking very much like a spider. Yep, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
best bromance of all time. Are you kidding me? Slugs.
What are you doing?
So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take my zither out,
Yeah.
and I start slowly strumming a melody, and I'm gonna prepare my sleep spell in case anyone gets near me.
There, excellent.
I am looking around and I turn to Luna and I go, "This is the test, isn't it?"
And Luna is like looking around and looking worried, but nods, but is a little concerned still.
We gotta get down on her level and get a little chin scruff. I go, "I don't know how to do anything. What do we do?"
Luna leans forward, presses her head against yours, and you just hear, "Fight!"
All right.
And you're pulling out your sword.
Yeah, I'm shifting. I'm like locking my little buckler in place on my arm. The sword's out, ready to go, and I'm like trying to like make sure that we're all together.
Yeah,
You're dropping away though.
Perception rolls.
Nine.
4. Sorry.
Wow.
Three of us rolled nines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least you were a team. At least you came together as a unit. I
But
appreciate
if you
that.
add them all together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
That's 40.
Yeah, so you are all kind of
No.
like circled around. A couple of the
31.
people, a couple of the people, the half elf is like kind of like trying to form a circle with everyone. The Goliath is trying to form a circle with everyone. The human has stepped into the center of the
Of
group
course.
and has just placed himself where the least amount of harm will happen. but there's a couple of them that are already trying to form like a little army,
Clusters,
basically,
yeah.
right? As you're doing it, though, Dima stands up and he's like, "Enough!" And he slams his staff down, and you notice that Harold Roswin and Harold Medina, their eyes have rolled back, and they're these purple and pink swirling orbs, and their fingertips are stretched out towards each other. And he goes, "Enough!" And they lower their arms, their eyes fade back to normal, and everything goes away. It just all vanishes. And Harold Medina sits up. She walks over and she's like, offers a hand down so you can get back up first.
I'll just stand up. I don't
Alright.
need a hand.
My dears, you are in a place of safety. You are in a place of knowledge. and you will find friends here and learn to be powerful. And maybe when you get very powerful, some mortals will love you. Maybe they'll worship you. Maybe they'll follow you. But it will never be real. The first time their crops fail, the first time their husbands die, the first time they lose their son, they will blame you, and they will hate you. They will always hate you. Never forget that lesson. And she takes a seat.
That was a lot.
It's a bit manipulative, honestly.
You could have just told us
You
that.
really could have.
I lean over to Barb and I say, she's the demigod of lies.
Oh, so none of that's real. Oh, so wait, they're gonna like us? Or, wait, if they're all gonna like, is she lying about what just happened? Was an illusion? So maybe, hold on.
I think we're gonna have to step up and make sure he's okay.
Who?
St. Barb.
They.
I don't know they. Well, I know they.
Let's just assume we all know. That'll just be easier. Yeah.
I think I like them.
Yeah, but we just gotta make sure that they're okay.
Right. I think that might make it worse. They seem like the kind of person that doesn't want anyone to bring attention to.
So if they're always lying, then when they told you that they were the demigod of lies, what if they're actually of truth? But no, that wouldn't work. So maybe what they are is the demigod of communication, and I'm waiting for it to fade to black. Honestly, I don't wanna keep this up.
And then like we're just looking at you like, oh no. Yeah, we all. I mean, oh gosh, I'm a tank in this group. Oh no.
What a disaster.
Yeah, right.
Oh my. You all have been brought into this main temple area again. You all have been brought in front of all the rest of your, I suppose, classmates would be a way to phrase it. Like, no one's been using the term classmate, but it's a class. It's a group of people. And it is getting towards evening.
Ooh, she fancy. She fancy.
So, you are all sitting in these chairs all around, and
These chairs.
Archon, yes, exactly. And Archon Dima is standing in front of you. The other two heralds are remaining there as well. Medina looks quite interested, right? And also keeps glancing over at you. And, a little, happy nod once in a while. And then just basically they seem to be taking notes. Medina is the demigod of lies.
She's
Well,
the
she's the
lying
liar.
bitch.
To be fair, she's the demigod of lies.
But she has not announced that she's the demigod of lies yet, right?
To you.
Just to me.
Exactly,
And,
yeah.
and
And
Barb
then,
knows.
yes,
You told
exactly.
them. You
Yeah,
told Barb.
and she'll tell anyone who asks her, But just because she's the demigod of lies doesn't mean that she lies all the time. It's that she's aware of lies,
Sure.
can pick out lies, can find the lies within a truth.
She's the human embodiment of that like one door lies, one door always tells the truth thing. Like, she's the human,
Yes.
she's the human version of that.
Pick one. Yes,
No.
exactly.
My sister always lies.
So, Dima strides to the center of this little semicircle, places his staff down, which is a lot, by the way. Like whenever he wants to, he's a very dramatic demigod, very, very serious about everything. Malvon, please come up. And this tall, very handsome human who's sitting next to you stands up, flips his cape behind him, and strides straight over to Archon Dima. Have a seat. And as Archon Dima gestures, 2 more seats come up, a simple table comes up in the middle, and chess pieces form out from the center. Sit with me.
You just had this idea.
We just talked about that. We
Joking
just
around, I was
talked
like,
about
I should put that in the game.
And he basically starts playing chess with the young man. And
thank you.
Malvorn's good. Malvorn is clearly smart, has clearly played chess before, but it doesn't take too long until Dima starts getting the upper hand. And you can see frustration on Malvorn's face because it's the first thing he's doing is he's in front of everyone and he's the demigod of victory and he's starting to get beat. As it begins to be routed, Dima just kind of leans back and says, you are not focusing. You're not seeing the paths ahead of you. You need to trust what you are and what you know and listen to it. And he leans over and places his fingertips on Malvorn's hands. And Malvorn looks slightly annoyed that he's being touched, but allows it. And as he does, some of the chess pieces begin to glow, some very, very faintly and some brighter than others. Now you are all seeing what they can see, and you can tell it's what they can see. It's almost like looking through a screen, but you are getting an eye in to what Malvorn sees. And Malvorn gets it and starts to move the pieces that are glowing brighter. And as he starts to move the pieces that are glowing brighter, he's making better moves. And quickly, he's able to turn the game around and checkmate Archon Dima. Archon Dima sits back. Well done. Take your seat. And Malvorn gets up, walks back over next to you, flips his cape back, very self-satisfied, sits next to you, and kind of smiles and nods.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him this whole time. I have a smirk on my face.
Yeah. Excellent.
What's he gonna do? Bring a chessboard to the battlefield?
An ogre attacks. He's like, wait.
Wait.
Have you ever played chess? I also have backgammon. Ballora and the young, they're all young, but the halfling stands up and she walks over and Dima waves his arm again, and a whole table rises up, and there's beakers and bubblers and little flames, and it's just like a whole laboratory appears in front. For those of you who do not know Ballora is the demigod of potions. Ballora, make these potions. And he waves an arm, and there's a sheet of paper with several names of potions on it. And as you're seeing through Ballora's eyes, her sense of smell vanishes, and she can't tell color all of a sudden. Everything turns black and white. Go ahead. And she looks panicked. She began to work, but she doesn't understand any of the ingredients she's working with. She has no idea how it all works. And Dima walks up and places 2 fingers on her shoulder. The same thing, my child. Look with your abilities. See with what you know. And certain reagents begin to glow. And they were glow in like the same color. So these are all red, or these are all blue, and these are all yellow. And she's, okay. And she starts mixing the ones that are matching colors, and she's able to knock out 5 perfect potions. And there's these, about 20 minutes later, there's 5 glass tubes, all glowing with different colors and thickness and bubbling, and she passes. Well done. Take a seat. And she goes and takes a seat. Wendell gets up and he kind of stumbles and he pulls his bag around and he pulls his other bag around and he runs over as fast as he can. It's like, yeah. Wendell, for your test. And then he just shoves him. Just shoves Wendell straight off the platform and into the water above an intake tube, which sucks him beneath the surface.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's just gone. And there's there was a big splash of water and then silence.
And then she says, next.
Your class of 16 now. Or 15. We're already 16.
He's just tapping his foot and waiting and kind of looking over the edge once in a while. Saying, well, I do hope he does well. And then a minute later, there's just an explosion of water, and both of the otters are there, and Wendell's there, and Wendell kind of bursts out. They all kind of do this little thing at once, and they splash back down, and he crawls out, and the otters jump into his little side bags, and he's soaking wet, but could not look happier. Just big, beaming smile. You survived. Well done. Take a seat.
I give him a thumbs up.
He goes to give Malvorn a thumbs up, and Malvorn just glares at him. All right. Takes a seat. Astrid.
That's me. I turn to Luna and I say, will you come?
Luna's ready.
Yeah.
Luna's been ready. She's a little anxious, in fact. Yeah.
So I start kind of walking slowly, and I have my hand on both my hilts as I kind of strut towards him.
He steps to the side and reveals Harold Ryle. Good to see you again. And Harold Ryle doesn't have his bow in his hand. He's got a slingshot. Let's find out how good you are.
All right.
And so Harold Ryle raises his hands, and blocks and towers and like structures form all around you until there's like, a makeshift field of battle, right? Here are the rules. And he pulls out a bag, and he's got berries in this bag, like these little round, hard berries. And he pulls one out and fires it out a wall, and it bursts into this red juice, okay? I get 3 shots off on Luna, and you lose.
On Luna. I
On
have no
Luna.
power over her.
Well, better learn how to defend her then. You ready?
I tighten the grip on my hilt.
All right. You come at me as hard as you want. You can't really hurt me here. Understood?
Understood.
Let's go. Initiative.
I hate this. I hate this.
Beat a 20.
A natural 20?
No.
I don't do that.
All right. As soon as he says, let's go, the slingshot is in his hand. He pulls back and fires. Just so quick, you can't believe it.
So we'll need Luna's stats, right?
Well,
Like
she's
her
not actually going to
AC?
get hurt.
Well, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if you need to know what it takes
Oh,
to hit
true.
her.
Yeah.
I mean, her AC's 13.
Yeah,
so.
true. Oh, that's going to be a 15.
Yeah,
So right away, there's just a little burst of red juice right on Luna's forehead. And Luna kind of looks up and then growls and gets ready to charge. What are you doing?
You said there's like columns. Or
Oh, yeah.
something?
So there's like columns and things you can dive behind. You're about
Yeah.
60 feet away from him right now.
Jeez, he's a long shot.
Yeah.
Um,
He is the demigod of the hunt.
yeah. I want to like make him think I'm about to run towards him.
Okay.
Like I kind of want to fake him out.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
But I want to go to her, so I want to run back to her.
Yeah.
And she's big, so I can't scoop her up, but kind of grab her by her scruff and run behind one of the columns.
I'd like you to roll deception.
Haha. 7.
Okay.
Jeez,
So-
Louise.
He just reads you, right? And he's like tracking you, but you get to Luna and are able to, and Luna knows what you're doing. So like as you're going down to scoop Luna up or to pull Luna, Luna's already turned and is running with you and has run behind you because Luna gets what the game is, and you guys dive behind a wall.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Amazing. I have a thing called this isn't the wild. I was gonna say Mask of the Wild, and I can kind of hide from him. I'm level 1. I don't know. I can't do anything. I have nothing.
I know.
I want to.
What is your demigod ability?
Use the
My
stars.
ability is this wolf.
Oh,
My
it's the
ability
wolf.
is the wolf, and the wolf needs to hide. So
What constellation does he look like?
Does my wolf look like?
Yes.
My wolf looks like a wolf.
Like a constellation that looks like a wolf.
All right, thanks everyone.
I don't know. Yeah, my like power is having the wolf. I don't know what she can do. I say, can you do anything?
Luna looks up and Luna nods. And Luna gets low and starts to slink around the side, right?
No, you're gonna get hit.
And well, no, Luna's like, and Luna slinks around the, side, trying to like
Luna?
get behind him while he's coming towards where you are.
Okay, I trust you. I just stay there.
All right.
And I get my 2 swords my dad gave me out. And I'm like, and I kind of have them this way.
Ryle runs. There's a flip up, lands on the barrier in front of you, and sees that it's just you, and turns and starts looking for the wolf.
Hi.
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you gonna?
I want to climb up there with him
Just-
and try to tackle him to the ground.
All right. Excellent. I would like you to initiate a
2.
grapple.
Okay, that's strength. Great. That's 16.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he didn't see that coming. You just tackle him straight on, and you guys hit the ground, and you currently have him in a grapple.
Okay, that's my action though, right?
Yeah, that would be your action.
Okay.
Yeah. And Luna comes charging up around the back and sinks her fangs into his shoulder and is now pulling him backwards while you're wrestling him to the ground. I would say that is a joint a grapple. And this next round, he is going to try and break that grapple. So, beat a 17.
Oh, okay. Do I get anything for having the wolf, or do I just roll for both of us?
You're rolling with advantage.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's 7.
Okay. So he's able to get out of your grasp, flip over the wolf's
wasn't even
back,
close.
and he pulls one more shot real quick. Yeah. Right into her back, and then kind of bounces backwards. So that's 2.
I wanted him to be in my grasp because I want to take his stuff. I want
You
to
can tackle him again.
I want to try to take the slingshot out of his hand. I want to shoot at his face.
I see what you... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would say you'd have to initiate a grapple
Yeah.
and then be successful in the next one to get that out of his hand.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'm so.
I think, don't you get to choose if you're initiating a grapple between dexterity or
Yes.
strength?
No, I think the
Yes.
person that's getting attacked
No.
gets
No,
to.
the
You
person
get to choose
you get-
dex or
Oh,
strength.
I'm dex
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 14. It's like
It is off the table.
That's going to be a 14. So I would say, in this case, you got him.
Okay.
So you're barely wrestling with him. He's trying to
And I
get...
tell Luna to run.
Luna runs
Yeah.
and hides. Absolutely. Luna's got exactly what this game is. So you're wrestling with this thing and fighting with it. This round, let's see if you can get it out of his hands. Go ahead.
I saw that.
Yep.
I shouldn't have cheated.
That's all right.
That's 16.
Yeah. So he has one berry in his thumb that he's trying to flip around into it, being real clever, but it breaks against the handle, and the juice makes it slide right out of his hands and just flips around into yours, and you've got it right now.
Yeah.
So do you want to shoot
I
him?
want to shoot him square in the face with a berry.
Roll to hit.
Okay. Do I add anything to it, or is it just...
Roll your add your whatever your dex bonus is.
that's 19.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you flip it around. You have it in your hands. What do you do?
I just want to shoot him square in the face with with one of the berries he's been hitting my wolf with.
Yes. You strike him square between the eyes, and berry juice runs into his eyes and down his nose and along the corners of his mouth, and he's just stunned for a second, just stunned, and then laughs hysterically, just laughs, and he wipes the berry juice off, and he extends a hand. Well done. Well done. And then he keeps laughing, and he's like, I'm all set, right? See ya, Dima. And he walks out.
Great.
Excellent. Please take a seat.
I do so, and then I try to mom the
Right.
juice off of
Right,
Luna's
and
head.
Right. And and Luna's like, Mom,
Luna, come, it's right there. It's so much. So much. Jeez.
fine. It is a lot.
On a white wolf,
On
right
a
Right.
white wolf,
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like bursts of blood. It is
Yeah.
really upsetting. Yeah.
So I'll try to
Aw.
clean her off
Yeah.
while I'm sitting there.
Well done.
Poor Luna.
All right. The next up is Demrin, and Demrin is the dwarf, and she is brought up to a table that rises out, and a clock rises out of the table, and Dima looks a little sheepish, a little this isn't the best one, but okay. Set that clock 5 minutes ago. Just 5 minutes passed, and she looks up at him like, "Are you serious? That's what?" And she touches the clock, and the gears begin to move, and it sets 5 minutes backwards, and then she just, well done. Yes, please take your seat.
Astrid leans over and goes, anybody could have done that.
Well, she didn't touch a button. She just touched the clock,
She just touched it. Yeah.
and it moved to her touch.
Astrid
Yeah.
still has the same opinion.
Fair enough.
I lean over to Astrid and I'm like, I could have done that. Right? Just changing the gears.
Just break it open and-
wind
yeah.
it backwards.
We're all talking shit about Demrin.
Kailu, the other olive skin gentleman with the ropey beard. Kailu.
Kailu.
Is that someone that I?
Kai, you know the kid show?
Caillou is like a
Caillou
weird
is-
children's show. I was
Oh, is
making a
it?
bad joke.
Oh no! Well, I'm stuck with it now. So he
That's
gets
the bald head kid, right?
yeah.
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 Bald child.
He's
Awful,
got, like
awful kid.
awful kid.
Yeah.
Well, Kailu's kind of awful. So he's got long ropey hair, And he stands up and he walks to the front, and he was like, I need you to go up there. I need you to fetch that one flower, and points to the top of this rock outcropping, and there's a single rose at the top of it, maybe 120 feet in the air. Go get it. He's like, all right. He cracks his knuckles and he leans back, and vines begin to crawl up around his feet and around his body until he's lifted off the ground, and then just kind of like octopuses right up this thing. Gets to the top within a couple rounds, gently picks the flower, and then goes right back down. Hands it to Dima, nods. Archon Dima takes it. Excellent. Take your seat.
Where did those vines
Yeah,
come from?
Astrid leans to Tidor. He can do so much.
So much.
We just got here. What
Da,
the hell?
da, 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 da. No.
Zali, and the half elf stands up and walks to the front. And there's the table rises back up, and there's all these like weights and measurements and little like protractor thingies, right? And they're all laid out. And he's like, I need a broadsword, and I need a shield. I need a suit of full plate, and they all must be within these measurements. Go. And so I said, all right. And she forms a full sword, plunks it down. She forms a suit of armor, plunks that down.
Wow.
She adjusts the armor. She reaches into her back and pops off a shield, flips that around, wham! And like some of them begin to fade as she's trying to hold others, but she focuses, and little beads of sweat are forming on her head. But she's able to make all the weapons that he needed and holds them until he can inspect them, and then as soon as she lets go, they just fade into sand and then nothing.
She didn't even use the protractor.
She's cool as
There
hell.
are like stars in Theodore's eyes. Jaw, usually like stern face was just like,
Yeah.
No, she's cool. Like she has a cool thing.
That was
Oh,
cool.
clock.
She goes back,
Not a
sits kind of
clock.
like this, exhaustedly in her seat, turns over towards you, and Luna's right there, and she just kind of leans down. She has just enough energy to scratch Luna, and she goes back to just being down.
You're welcome.
Janice, please
right.
join us at the front.
I stand up, and so I've got like a cloak on.
Yes.
I unhook the cloak. It's really from my hat of disguise, so it's an illusion.
Nice.
And then I unhook it and take it and throw it back behind me in Malvorn's direction.
Just throw a cloak off.
Yeah.
Face with it.
And then I walk.
Spotlight.
I walk forward and just turn around and give him a wink as I'm walking away.
He looks very amused. You've got Malvorn's attention. Yeah.
So I take my Zithir out.
Excellent.
All right, what am I doing?
Well, you are. There's no, to use a pun, secrets here. We all know who each other is, and you, my friend, are the demigod of secrets.
I thought it was fashion. I thought it was t-shirts.
He told us it was
He
fashion.
told us it was t-shirts.
Am I?
I mean,
He told us it was t-shirts. So this is what I need from you. Tell me 3 secrets from your fellow students.
Okay.